Hi everybody, I got a question underneath one of my videos the other day about canned food, and could you spawn in, or how do you spawn in open canned food in DayZ? And also, how could you have it so that when you killed a zombie and they had food on them, that the can was open? Because you know, we've all been there, haven't you? Early game DayZ, you've got a weapon, you're starving to death, you beat a zombie to death, and they've got a can of food in their backpack or on their person, and you cannot open it, and you're like, oh my gosh, so wouldn't it be better if you could have at least some open cans? I thought, yes, what a cool idea. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Now, the two files that we're really interested in are the types.xml file and the cfgrandompresets.xml. So if you're working on a local server, you know how to open them up. They're the two you want to look for. If you're working on a remote server, a community server, let me show you how you find them. So in your web interface for your server, so click on the web interface, load it up, go into the dashboard, go into your file browser. Here we go. Go into, well, DayZ standalone. If you're on console, this might look a little bit different. You won't see all these ats, all these mods, but what you will see is the MP missions directory or folder, this one. You want to click into that, and then you want to go into the particular mission that your server is running, whether that be Chernarus for Chernarus, Enoch for Livonia, or if it's a more specialized one on PC. Click on that directory, and then in this one, this is where you'll find the CFG random presets. There it is. So you want to download that. You can edit it in the file browser if you want, but you should really make a backup and edit it. So that's CFG random presets. And then types.xml. If we go into the DB directory, this is where you'll find types.xml. So there's types.xml. Again, this isn't, types.xml is difficult to edit in the file browser because it's so big. I would always recommend downloading it, making a backup, and then do your edits. So first up, let's look at types.xml. How could you get open food to spawn in the world? So we'll just do a quick search for baked beans. Here we go. Here's baked bean cans, and what you can see straight away is that there's the entry for baked beans. So normally on a vanilla server, I'm not sure if this is vanilla or not actually, but you've got 15 baked bean cans should be spawning in. They'll start respawning in at 12. They're only counted in the map, and that's it. And underneath it, you'll find baked beans canned opened. But you see here, none of them spawn in the map. The nominal is 0 and the minimum is 0. And in fact, if we look down to the category, although it's got a food category, it doesn't have a value or a usage as to where it should go. I mean, and you might say, well, if something doesn't spawn in the map, why is it in the types.xml? Well, as an aside, if you want anything to have perseverance in the world, it must be in the types.xml. So when you open a baked bean can in the game, or a can of Pepsi or whatever, and you drink a bit out of it, but you don't drink it all, so it's still there, it's still in your hand. If you drop it, that is now no longer a baked beans can. It's a baked beans can opened. And if this entry wasn't in the types.xml, that thing would disappear. So it would have no longevity in the world. It would just disappear. So if you're ever in that situation on a local server or remote server where things are disappearing, check that they've got an entry in types.xml. So let's say we wanted baked beans cans to spawn in the world. The easy way to do it is just to take all of the entry underneath baked bean cans, the normal one, copy that and just paste that nice and carefully underneath baked beans canned opened. Now we've doubled the amount of baked bean cans that are spawned in. There's normal ones and there's open ones, but how easy is that? You're not going to make any mistakes, and there's going to be a nice mix of baked bean cans and baked bean cans opened. And then what you can do is, if you want to find all the food, if you just copy category equals food and then just do Control F, paste, and find all in current document, you can then go through and you'll find so mushrooms you don't want to mess around with, do you? Apples you don't want to mess around with. More mushrooms. Baked bean cans open, we've just done. Bear steak meat we don't want. We don't want that. More mushrooms. A lot of mushrooms, isn't there? Cereal boxes, there we go. Now that's interesting. So box cereal crunching, it doesn't look like there's a box cereal crunching opened. And that is because there is. I don't think you open the box, do you? No, all you do is you just eat from it, don't you? So you don't need to do one for that. Biscuit spread. So biscuit spread. So here we go. Here's one that can be opened. So again, we would just copy everything from underneath the type to before the type. Copy that and then paste that into there. Remember, I always recommend you check your XML files and your JSON files with the validator. And you could do that for all the food, and then you could save and re-upload, and you would have open food spawning in the world as you're going along. Now, the next thing would be, well, okay, so how could you get zombies to spawn with open food in their backpacks? Well, what we're going to do first, let's have a look at the CFG spawnable types first. So the CFG spawnable types, this is the file that tells the server or the game when something spawns in the world, if it can spawn with something, what should it spawn with? So let's go down. So for example, when an ammo box spawns in the world, okay, it could spawn in with a very small chance of any of these things inside it. So you've got lots of ammo, different types of ammo, as you'd expect. So here's another one. So the airborne mask, when it spawns in, there should be a 0.2 chance, so a 20% chance that it spawns in with a filter on it. That sort of thing. And then if we scroll down, you'll see zombies, when they spawn in as part of an event, they should spawn in with a cargo preset of Food City or Tools City. So it's not telling you exactly what you spawn in, but these are the things that the different zombies spawn in with. And then you've got attachments. So some zombies spawn in with hats on, some with bags on, some with vests on, glasses, that sort of stuff. Now, if we want to change what's in these cargo presets, this is where cfg randompresets.xml comes in. So this is the file you want to open. And if we look into this file, you'll see you've got all these presets. So Food Village, Food City, Food Army, and these all relate to zombies. Tools Hermit, Tools Village, etc. Obviously, we're interested in food, aren't we? So what we need to do is we just need to add open versions to these, or replace them with open. So just taking the top one, so if we do soda can cola, if we copy that, we go to types.xml and we look for soda can cola. Alright, so soda can cola doesn't need to be, you just drink from it, don't you? And you don't need an open version of it. You don't need the tool to get into it, don't you? So that's a bit of a crap example. I do apologize. Let's go to peaches can. So that's one you'd have to open, wouldn't you? So let's just search for peaches can. There we go. So there's the peaches can, and underneath we can see there's the peaches can opened. So if we wanted to change peaches can, we could just copy that, go to random, and then just carefully paste peaches can opened over the top of it. In fact, you could probably just paste underline opened, but I always like to go and look for it just to make sure the spelling is exactly right. And you would change all of the cans that need opening, spaghetti can, baked beans can, tactical bacon can, to the open versions. Save that, re-upload, and then when you kill a zombie, if it's got a can in his backpack or in his pockets that needs opening, it'll be there instead. So yeah, that's how. Now, if you want to increase the percentages, you can. Just always be aware that these percentages should all add up to 1, I think. What's that? 115. I might be wrong about that, but be careful with increasing percentages. You can play around with it. But there we go. So that's how you get zombies to spawn in with open food in their backpack in the CFG random presets. You'd re-upload that, restart your server, and that would go for it. So types.xml for spawning in food that's open in the world. Again, just copy what's underneath the normal file to underneath the open version, and to muck around with the zombies, cfg randompresets.xml. Okay, so hopefully this video has been useful. If it has been, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.